Well, Parkersburg Mayor Tom Joyce presented Wood County Rec a $10,000 check Monday from the city. Our Thomas Chase was at the presentation and has more.
Wood County Rec received a $10,000 donation Monday from the city of Parkersburg through the Opioid Settlement Fund. The check was presented by Mayor Tom Joyce. Wood County Rec is currently holding their Summer Adventure Series, which is a camp for kids weekdays through the summer months. Wood County Rec Executive Director Jared Bloxton talked about the impact the camp has on our community and how they will use the donated funds.
Providing very good activity and healthy choices during the summertime. We also have the summer feeding program that takes care of the meals and stuff for the kids and a snack. So that's really nice, and just kind of gives a little bit of relief to the parents in finding some things to do for the kids in the summertime. And we've continued to grow this program over the years, and I know it's something that in the future we'd like to continue expanding if we're able to.
This week, kids are learning about bees and how they are important to our local ecosystem. Tanner Kress and Ryder Davis are camp counselors. They say that the kids are not only learning about bees, but how they work together as a team.
We're learning a little bit about how bees pollinate and they collect nectar and they pass it on to get it back to the hive. We'll be doing that later with a race where they'll be running around and grabbing for what we'll be calling nectar, and they'll be transporting it back to a large bucket.
Mayor Joyce says that this camp will help curtail the opioid epidemic by showcasing to children different hobbies and things to enjoy.
And I have always believed that, the opioid epidemic, the real cure, the real solve for that crisis is to raise a generation of young people who are interested in beekeeping and gardening and playing ball and going to the pool and being physically active and not using drugs. I just think there's a lot of good messaging and good opportunities for kids to be kids, and I'm sure the parents are appreciative.
The Summer Adventure Series runs weekdays through the summer. Executive Director Bloxton says that the camp is currently full, but if parents are interested in registering their kids, they can join a wait list on their website, woodrecreation.com. In Parkersburg, I'm Thomas Chase with WTAP News. This is Home.